Hey Libras, and welcome to your June 2018 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to give you guys hopefully another amazing reading for your month ahead. I hope that you are all doing well and thriving as Uranus starts to change signs. It's been in Aries for nearly a decade now, which is your opposite sign, and it has changed into Taurus, which it did on May 15th. So as you are listening to this reading, you now have like a huge shift in energy and a huge shift in pressure and density and weight, which you've been used to over the last near decade. And now you start to feel, even if you still have weight and heaviness and density, it starts to change a lot. You might still have sort of a muscle memory or residual connection to how you've been feeling for the last decade, but honestly, you're probably coming into June feeling very new, feeling completely changed as a person, perhaps with new wants and desires. You may also come into June seeing that people have faded away, or seeing that certain paths that you have been on, perhaps for like the last decade, are changing, shifting, or completely going away. And I don't feel this to be bad. I don't feel this to be something that you don't want. So if you're really enjoying what you're doing, or if you're really enjoying some of the experiences of life that you found yourself on, I don't sense that it goes away, but I do sense that something changes, or your attitude changes, or you start to seek a new version of it for sure. This is a strong month of endings for sure. You have the World reversed in your reading, as well as the Emperor reversed, the Empress as your major arcana cards, and I think that is really huge for you guys, because you're going to completely be redoing your control structures and how you're reacting to hierarchy, how you're reacting to certain structures in your life will completely start to transform and become something different for you. With the World reversed, you don't want to resist that too much. You don't want to think, well, I've created this thing over the last few years, and because I've created it and because it's worked, I never want to let go of it. It's really important for Libras to adapt to fluidity this month, which you're very good at. Try to not be too over the top with like balancing everything out. So this is the pros, this is the cons of this situation. It feels like Libra really does just need some forward motion and some momentum right now, as you sort of start to pull in the new possibilities and new perceptions of other people. I sense marriage very strongly for many of you. It is a June, so for those of you who have been married, congratulations. It is a very soulmate introducing type of energy, having the Emperor and the Empress in the same spread. So be on the lookout and see who's around you. Try to not, like if somebody is really connected to you, or is like constantly in touch with you, it feels very faded. So pay attention to who's around and pay attention to what's going on in that way. And I feel that you will really meet the right people and have the right connections to move you forward a little bit, because Libra's been quite stuck. You know, you had those last few degrees of Uranus and Aries over the last few years, which is a hard part of the zodiac to be very energized by. So you'll be able to move forward much more easily right now. So don't be fearful that you're going to have the same type of progression as you've been having for a long time, and like push everything out because you sort of have an assumption that it won't work. It truly feels that the people that come in, the connections that you make, the possibilities which pop up here and now are very important. And even if you don't pursue them, like understanding why they're here or what has introduced them is very powerful for you. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the week to week and guide you a bit more through some of these energies coming in for Libra. In week number 1, Libras, you have the Emperor reversed, rooted down by 5 of Cups. The mixtures of those two energies together, Libra, is kind of difficult. Some of you may have had the breakup, or some of you may have broken out. I hear like break up, break out, like whatever that means to you, like broken out of a situation, escaped something, or fallen through. It's really that type of energy that I sense coming in. And I sense that somebody that you really looked up to, or somebody that you really respected, fell through, or did something very disrespectful, or something that you would not have expected of them. So the first week for Libras may become sort of a period of grieving or bereavement of some kind. And it's good, I feel, for all Libras to think about, you know, what the last 8 to 10 years gave you, what it took away, mostly to think about like what it gave you even through adversity. I feel like having Uranus opposite your sun sign, or whatever you have in Libra, is very giving through adversity as well. So it's important to not be that person who's like really stricken, or really hurt. I mean, it's okay to be hurt by betrayals or experiences, but they give you a lot. I feel that Libra, especially right now, is given a lot for these types of situations, karmically, and in like your manifestation experience as well. It really changes and gets a lot of fuel through perhaps going through heartbreak. So, do you think about that, and do you think about how you have progressed, and if that's actually been a progression for you? It feels like having some cognition there, or having some logical progress there really is healing to you, and not getting stuck there either. Like maybe prescribe yourself a bit of time, or prescribe yourself a guideline in how you can work through this without letting it become a habit or a strong cycle of constant grief or constant emotion. That's not really Libra's territory. So you're usually pretty good at knowing when to stop that, or when that's over. Those of you who have more like Cancer or Scorpio placements, it can be harder. But I feel that throughout the first week, that's fine. By the second week, though, Libras, you want to come out of it a little bit with the Empress rooted down by the King of Pentacles. So the Empress is definitely a very Libran card, magnetizing well-being and magnetizing wonderful optimistic events comes from that sort of difficulty that you may have experienced in the first week. So do be thankful for that, and do see like where the benevolence is, because it's very immediate. I sense like for the difficulties that some of you might be going through, like there's a very immediate, like sudden, sharp clicking of wealth or progress. So King of Pentacles and the Empress together, honestly, to me, that feels like a bonus or a promotion or a benevolence of some kind. Wonderful energy to have together. Very good luck, very prestigious energy. Even sort of indicative of fame or just high position in a hierarchical system. That comes, I feel, from this experience that you're reflecting on in the first week. And whatever's coming to you then, do know that that is building you up to have the wealth that you start to accumulate or make more progress on, or, you know, that full circle experience that starts to come through as a result of that in the second week. So anyway, Libras, in the third week, you have Page of Cups rooted down by 10 of Cups. And that is such healing, regenerative energy. Definitely working with the water element in a new way. So check the Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio people around you and see what's happening in their lives, what you can learn from them, what they can learn from you. I feel like dialogues with water signs will be very helpful. For Libra, for sure. Some of you may be going through a crisis with a water sign, but I feel that there's like another water sign as well that can very much help that. You are tuning into your emotional situation in a completely different way and marrying yourself. I feel 10 of Cups is often a marriage card, so obviously some of you may be getting married in this week, but I feel that you have to marry yourself just as much as you marry somebody else, and see that reflection, see that see what that means to you, and how like through marrying someone else you can sometimes betray yourself or find yourself like not checking back in. So refind your autonomy there and your anonymity. I feel in some way autonomy and anonymity are definitely coming up for you as archetypal experiences. So what do those things mean to you? How can you build them up to be something more healthy and more congruent with who you want to be, where you want to be, how you want to build yourself? All of these like connective properties and all of these emotional connections, like of your own narrative, of your own story, are being respun or regenerated in a new way. I also sense healing like a physical problem. So new diets, new prescriptions, or new something that is very healing and helpful to any dilemmas that you've had. So that's wonderful energy. And in the fourth week, Libras, you have the World reversed, rooted down by Page of Wands. Good and bad, very polarized energy there. You might be resisting some kind of change strongly, but you're going to see what that is in the fourth week. Some of you may not have even quite identified what exactly that change is, or may have not even been like consciously thinking, yeah, I'm resisting that, I'm not going to do that. But you're going to see something there. You're going to see something along the lines of like not wanting to move forward, or not needing to wallow per se, but maybe having seen that you spent too long in a place that wasn't actually good for you, or with somebody who wasn't good for you. And that realization is stunning, I feel, and inspires a complete creative transformation and overhaul with Page of Wands reading that down. And that overhaul really does probably start with accepting endings and being able to close the chapter, and being able to step into that new chapter is so prevalent for you and so healing and beautiful for Libra. With your central theme as Nine of Cups, it does say that you are protected and you are lucky in steps that you take towards transitions right now and towards closing the chapter. That's the hard thing about closing chapters, is you never know if it's quite right, if it's quite the time, if it's the right time. Don't be over strategic this month. Libra can be strategic to a fault sometimes. So step into the back seat with that, I feel. Let other people be the strategizers right now. Take a bit of time off, take a bit of time to breathe. And remember that you are lucky and supported by the universe, by your guides, to, have that grief cycle, to bereave that situation, to then remarry yourself, reconnect emotionally, and ultimately start the transition that you've been needing to do for a long time. Anyway, Libras, I so hope that this reading has resonated for you. A bit shorter this month. All the readings are a bit shorter. I've had to check back in with myself, and I've definitely had this experience as well, where I've just not been able to give quite as much emotionally and psychically right now, but I'm always here and I am very committed to my channel. So thank you guys so much for being here and for watching the video and for being committed viewers. It means a lot to me. If you'd like to book a private reading, that should be on the center of your page, as well as my Patreon page. I probably won't be doing quite as many private readings in June, but we'll see what's up. And also your likes, comments, and subscriptions mean the world to me. You can subscribe to my page with the red button there, and you can also be notified whenever I post if you click the bell. And I am so looking forward to hearing about the incredible new changes coming in for you all. Much love, and we'll be talking soon. Bye.